Okay, so doing a quick shrimp parm. Already got the shrimp seasoned, garlic, onion, salt, pepper. And then we're gonna take that, we're gonna mix some egg in, and then we're gonna mix it into this breadcrumb. This is literally croutons with cornstarch, paprika, and a little bit of parsley. So just gonna use a whisk, get it all mix it together. I like to use a cornstarch because it stiffens up the breading and it helps it have that extra crunch that you want. The croutons already have a ton of seasoning in them, so you don't have to add a whole bunch of extras to it. And then the parsley gives a little bit of color after it cooks too. So that's what it'll look like for your breading. Alright. So let's get these eggs. Okay. Put the eggs over the shrimp. It's just a way to save dishes. So, just going to take the shrimp, mix in the egg. Okay. One hand wet and the other hand dry. I'm just going to take the shrimp. Okay. And just mix that up. Just get a nice crust on it. Sorry about that. Let you get a nice crust on it like that. Okay. Check off the extra breading. And that paprika also helps add to the color. It's an effect called the Maillard effect, and it's basically just a caramelization effect that happens when things start browning. It's most caramelization, controlled burning. Okay. Okay, add the last of the shrimp. And again, I use the croutons because it's what we had lying around the house. Don't have to make any croutons, don't have to make any panko. Quick, simple, easy, and just utilizing what you have around the house. And it creates a perfect breading. Just hit it in the food processor, blend it up a little bit, and there you go. Okay. So again, you're knocking off all that extra breadcrumb so you don't get a whole bunch of extra burned bits. Remember, anything that comes off of this into the oil will keep cooking until you turn the oil off. So you don't want your oil to start tasting burned before you finish cooking all your food. Alright, pasta, water should be ready now. We're going to go ahead and put that in. This is extra long fusilli pasta. Cooks up really well. It's nice and thin, so but it gives you a little texture, something fun. So again, something that we had around the house. You can use spaghetti. You can use rigatoni if you want to use a shorter pasta. You can use rotini. Basically, any pasta will do. We just prefer the long for what we're about to do. Okay. Remember, your pasta pasta, you're always going to cook in water that is 3 to 1. So if you're putting a cup of pasta in, then you should cook it in 3 cups of water. And what that does, it allows the pasta to not stick together as it boils and bubbles around. Instead of it sitting sandwiched like this, it has space to move around. Okay? Also, remember that pasta is going to double in size too. So while that's going, we're going to go ahead and start frying off our shrimp. Set this timer for 10 minutes. Actually, let's set it for 7 minutes because that pasta is going to sit. We don't want it to overcook, so we slightly undercook it so that way as it sits while we're finishing everything else up, it'll finish off cooking without it becoming mush, or overcooking. All right, so oil is nice and hot, and you should be able to see some ripples in the oil. So you can see that. So you see how the oil is rippling? That means that the oil is ready to go. And another sure telltale sign is when you put it in. Okay, so I'm just going to put the shrimp in. Remember, you don't want to overcrowd your oil. So some people do the technique where they want to put 8 in at a time, and you can do that, but you just have to remember that it's not a race. You want to make sure everything is cooked evenly, and the other thing you have to remember is everything that you add into this oil will cool the oil down, which means that if you overcrowd it, it will take that much longer for you to actually finish your meal. So just keep that in mind, and that's why I'm just adding one at a time. I'm not in a rush. It's going to get done, and shrimp doesn't also take that long to cook as well. The other thing you don't want to do is overwhelm yourself and get ahead of yourself where you're cooking too much and then you can't get the piece out that you need before you overcook everything. So that's another thing that you have to think about too. And you can see right here all these bits that are starting to add up. This is extra breadcrumb that's coming off of that shrimp. Alright, so right now you want to go ahead and you want to start flipping the shrimp. As you can see, it's already starting to get color, but we want it to cook evenly on both sides. So you have some of it that's sticking up. You don't want any of that sticking up. That means that it's not getting toasted properly, and you'll have some soggy shrimp. Okay? So I'm just taking and putting it on a parchment lined sheet of paper. And as I take the shrimp out, I'm also adding more shrimp in. And adjust your heat as you need to. You don't want your oil smoking. If your oil is smoking, that means that it's reached what's called a smoke point. Smoke point means that your oil is starting to break down. So this is a blend of canola, olive oil, and grapeseed oil. So this has a higher smoke point. So I can run this on high if I want to for a lot longer than, say, if it were olive oil alone. Olive oil has a relatively low smoke point. Okay? Oil is plenty hot. It'll carry it through as I finish taking out the rest of the shrimp. Now remember, the shrimp is not fully cooked yet. We've cooked it about 2/3 of the way. And we're going to finish it in the oven after we put the sauce on and after we put the mozzarella cheese on as well. Okay? So, shrimp is all breaded, lightly toasted. So now we want to sauce a little bit, right? What is shrimp Parmesan without some marinara sauce? So let's go ahead and add some sauce to it. Alright. And this is just standard marinara sauce. We just had some left over from when I made some eggplant parm the other day. And you're just going to put a little dab on each one. Put some mozzarella cheese on the shrimp. Again, this is just shredded fresh mozzarella. You can use, if you have the packaged pre-shredded, you can use that as well. This is what you're mostly going to find on most Parmesan. They will add some Parmesan on top, some actual Parmesan on top, but most of the time the cheese that you see on there is actually mozzarella. So it's two different kinds of Parmesan, two different kinds of marinara, sorry. So that's why this one looks whiter than the other one, is because it's two different brands that were made, and this one's just a little bit more moist in the way that this one is done. Drop this in the oven real quick. Take off the kid's safety lock. Okay, set that timer for 2 minutes. Okay, so we just drained the pasta, and you know, some people like to cook their pasta with the oil inside the water. I was always told that's a waste of time because oil and water don't mix. So if you have something surrounded by water, then how is the oil ever going to make contact with it? So what I normally do is 2 things. When you cool your pasta, you don't want to cool it through water because it absorbs water. So if you have something that's nice and fluffy, you don't want to then drench it and make it nice and soggy, right? So I let mine cool naturally, put a little bit of oil in to keep it from sticking while it is drying up. Okay, and then just give it a little shake. And if you want to cool it down all the way, then you put it into the fridge on a tray or in a metal bowl, and you let it just cool down naturally, right? And it's not going to stick together. It's not going to get overcooked because it's cooling down. Now we're going to eat ours hot, so that's why I'm leaving it in the pot right now to finish up. So the last thing we have 3 minutes left for the shrimp to cook. Finish off. I'm going to go ahead and turn this pan up a little bit. Now, pan should be hot in just a second. So we're going to go ahead and cut our asparagus, right? So asparagus, you have this woody end, and then you have the rest of the asparagus. What we're going to do is cut it off where the wood ends. So typically, I would say it's maybe, let's say, 2 thumbnails from the end, but you'll also know because you'll feel the difference in the texture. So when you cut it, you notice there's a lot more green than there is white, versus on this end, there's a lot more white than there is green, okay? So we've gotten rid of all the fiber. We did cut a little bit too far, but to be honest, we didn't miss that much of the edible part. So let's go ahead and cook this off. Do a little bit of olive oil. All right. Let me get that nice and hot. Okay, 1 minute left. We're almost done. It'll be nice, hot, and ready to go. Nice, and we are good to go. Remember what I said earlier, you don't want to crowd the pan. So even though I have all this asparagus I can cook, I don't need to do, because of the size of the pan, I don't need to do this whole bundle at the same time. So we're going to do just this bundle to start with. Saute just means to jump. So when you are sauteing, you can season at the beginning. That's the easiest way to do it. And this is just a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt, a little bit of fresh cracked pepper, and a little bit of garlic. And you're just going to saute it lightly until every piece basically looks this green, okay? Ready. I'm just giving it a light saute, okay? So remember, saute just means to jump, so it means that you won't have it in constant contact with the heat at the same time. Okay. Almost done. So let's go ahead and, okay, so we're going to go ahead and plate this now. Great plating technique for the pasta is to spin the bowl as you place the pasta down, and it kind of gives you a nice neat grouping of the pasta. This is a long strand. A little bit more. Perfect. it's done now, turn that up. Okay, just want to put a little bit of sauce down to make a little bit of pasta for the shrimp. Line the shrimp up. And we're just going to shingle, so you're just basically laying one edge over another edge. And then we'll grab some asparagus. Put a couple of stalks of that in there. One way I like to do that is to prop it up. Gives us a nice height and gives it an interesting look. Okay. Then add a little bit of parsley to it for garnish. Down.